Yeah, wait a minute, bud. So, hey, good evening. Welcome back to my little gardening show. We're out at the garden tonight. We got a lot of work to do. I'm about 2 weeks behind where I was last year in the garden. But as you can see, the cover crop it's really taken off. We've got a lot of winter rye that's going. I've got the Haas tool out. We've got the larger kind of scuff hoe attachment there. I've got it set up as a single wheel just to maneuver. I've got the other wheel at the house, and as we were going through the garden,
I found some Swiss chard.
Bub found some Swiss chard that survived the winter.
Over there.
The little Swiss chard plant survived the winter.
Over there.
So is that one, they're coming back.
We could just keep them like that.
So anyway, that's pretty remarkable
Bye-bye.
that they overwintered like that. You know, I would have thought that they would have been killed off, but I guess the mulch that we put down, and this is all leaf mulch here, kept things alive. So anyway, like I said, a lot of work to do in getting some beds ready. Still, you know, for some of the crops like potatoes, we would definitely be breaking the tiller out to loosen up the ground. It's going to be a while on that though. I mean, the ground's going to be pretty wet. We've gotten a lot of rain here lately. So anyway, the project tonight is to get rid of some of these dandelions in the garden. There's Dad. What's that?
The neighbor always puts down this dandelion control stuff. His yard is so pretty, but look, the next door neighbor.
Yeah. I don't know if I can zoom in on that, but you can kind of see the yellow hue. But yeah, this neighbor here does put down control for dandelions. The other neighbor does not. And we don't either. But so we got a lot of work to do. Dad's laying some flagstone up by his barn over here. We'll walk up here though. I got another little thing to show you guys. You helping Grandpa out? Good. So the other day, I got a little care package in the mail from Palram. This is a side window louver, and this is an automatic opener. And so if we get some time tonight, we're gonna break into that. See what we can do with it. Supposedly it will fit this greenhouse, so what I need to do is identify which panel I'm going to take out to install it. And more than likely it's going to be one of these middle panels on either side, maybe on the west facing, well, maybe on this same side. We'll see. But the idea is it's supposed to increase airflow in the greenhouse, keep things at a decent temperature. It is open right now because it's about 80 degrees. Let's take a look at the seedlings. Well, these have been in here for 2 days now. We brought these out on Sunday, and they're really taking off. The peppers are taking off. The Swiss chard is taking off. I mean, things are looking really good. Dad also rigged up a hook so that when we're watering, we're not going to like electrocute ourselves or anything. So the outlet is up here, and when we're not using the heater, we can hang it up here. The onions are looking a little burnt there on the tips. I'm not sure what's going on there. But the lettuce is looking pretty amazing. The tomatoes are still struggling. And some of them I don't think are going to make it. I mean, they should look a lot better than that. So I'm afraid that, that one night being in the cold was a little too much for most of them. But I don't know, I mean, a lot of them still have green growth, but they don't look very good. Some of them do. Like they should be looking like that. But most of them, I don't know, we'll see what happens. The jury's still out on the tomatoes. This tray's looking a little dry. We'll probably stand to water that. So anyway, a lot of projects going on. I'll probably do a full review, or I'll record the install on this window louver and the automatic opener here, and we'll probably do that this weekend, I'm thinking. So, I guess that's it for now. Until next time, happy gardening. Bye. Work that tool, child, work it. So we're out at the garden tonight. We're doing some maintenance, getting rid of the dandelions and some other things.
Like chickweed.
We got chickweed. Dad's got the shovel, doing it the old-fashioned way, just digging them out. The kids are jacking around, but got our Haas tool, got the oscillating hoe attachment on there. And so I think that's the 5-inch blade.
Looks like it's 5 inches.
Or no, that's a 7-inch blade. Whatever it is. It's the larger one.
Hey, have you heard from Scott?
No.
We found.
What'd you find?
Here, I'll show you. I don't know what it is. It's either a sprout of peas or a sprout of lettuce.
I'll be over there in a bit, alright? So anyway, this is a handy tool. We got a couple different attachments for it. Here, once you film me, and I'll do some action on it. So, this is a back saver. We just go along and scuff the weeds we don't want, and the idea is that it severs them there at the roots, and most of them won't grow back. Some of them will if you don't remove them. So, anyway, child, we'll give you another chance at it. Alright, I guess that's it for now. Until next time, happy gardening. Bye. So, we're making another little video out here. Taking a look at the rhubarb, and it's all pretty well come back. There's a few plants that aren't as maybe vigorous in size, but one thing that's interesting is that all of them are putting up a little seed stalk or flower stalk. That is very interesting. So I will be able to get seeds off these later this year. At least that's what I'm thinking. So if anyone out there is watching is interested in some Ukrainian rhubarb seeds, I should have some fresh seeds by the end of this season to give away. One of the other projects, other than weeding, getting some of the dandelions out of the garden, and just making some casual observations of things, we're mending the fence that we put in last year. We started out with this deer fencing, but the bunny rabbits chewed right through it, so we followed up with for that side. So we've got this chicken wire here that we put in. It's buried so that when the rabbits dig, they hit it. But anyway, I'm having to go through and just tighten things up and put zip ties in. So fun times. What happened, honey? You get a boo-boo? Little boo-boo, you fell down and hit yourself on the house tool over there? Well, we're back at the garden again. Dad's coming down. We're doing some more fence repair. And we also experimented with mowing down the winter rye. This cover crop we planted in the rows. And the mower did a pretty good job. So the plan is they're going to mow it down even further and then plant into it. Well, so we finished the chores for today. We got the fence mended up. There's no gaps or parts of it hanging loose. We used quite a few zip ties, but it worked out pretty well. Also got the winter rye mowed down. Pretty close. We may have to mow it one more time, but kind of set it back. And the idea is, at least for the tomatoes, peppers, kind of established plants, to mow it down pretty close and then dig right into it and plant right into it, so that the microorganisms that are already working with the winter rye spread to the plants that we put in the ground, and hopefully will have a positive effect. This area that's already clear and there's really wasn't much of a cover mulch planted on there, it was just covered with fall leaves. We're going to go ahead and till this area to plant potatoes. I don't know, I haven't seen a lot of examples of people having a lot of luck growing root crops like potatoes without tilling, unless they're bringing in manure and kind of building a bed on top of the soil, basically. So we're going to take advantage of the fact that this is pretty desolate looking anyway, and make our furrows in here. I've got 30 pounds of seed potatoes that are sprouting at the house, or chitting basically, that we'll put in the ground on this end of the garden. We'll see how much room we got. We might do a couple rows of green beans in here. I'm not sure. We're going to try the tomatoes in this place one more time. Only this time I'm not going to do a whole lot of pruning. And we're going to have the cover mulch down so there won't be the soil splash. Some of the problems we had last year that contributed to soil-borne diseases that the tomatoes kind of struggled with at some point in the year or towards the end of the season there, well, mid-season. Then we got to figure out what we're going to do in these other rows. We'll be planting lettuce, of course. Bunch of lettuce, bunch of leafy greens. Not sure what we're going to do with this space yet. We've got some perennials there. We thought about maybe doing strawberries or something, but on second thought, we may end up just doing green beans here since, again, we didn't do anything with cover mulch. And there's Dad. Enjoying the work with me. We'll go up to the greenhouse real quick. Starting to cool down. The vent is already closed. It's down to 60 degrees. We're gonna close it up for the night. The peppers are doing awesome in here. The tomatoes, the majority of them didn't make it through that. You know, I want to kick myself for not putting the heater in here that first night. I didn't think it was going to get that. Didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal, but obviously it was. Just the transplant shock coupled with the colder temperatures was a little too much for the little seedlings to bear. So we're gonna give them one more day and just see if any of the others make it. I mean, there's a couple. That's what they should all look like, instead of like that. So anyway, we'll see. Kind of disappointed, but it's still not that. It's not too late to start them from seed. You know, they need to be in the pots 6 to 8 weeks, and we're usually planting at the end of May. So I've still got a good 6 or 7 weeks, you know, to get some seedlings going. So what I'm thinking about doing is whatever didn't make it, planting seeds directly in these cups, putting them up on this this top shelf here, because most of this stuff's going to be out in the garden, you know, probably next week. But have them up on the top, bottom water and everything, and let them germinate and sprout in the greenhouse. See what happens, you know, just as kind of an experiment. And then, you know, worst case scenario, if it still fails, you know, just go to the garden center and pick up a couple flats of tomatoes. You know, it's again just kind of frustrating. The second year in a row they kind of botched my tomatoes seed starting efforts, or you know, transplant. Last year was transplanting. You know, I made a big mistake there. Can't stress enough the weather, how much of an impact. I mean, they do not like cold weather, and it seems to be a common denominator coupled with, you know, transplant stress. So anyway, live and learn, right? Other than that, things are going well. We're going to go ahead and close up the greenhouse for the night. I guess that's it for now. Until next time, happy gardening. Bye. Well, welcome back to my little gardening show. It's Good Friday. We're out at the garden. No, I'm not going to do that right now, okay? You're going to keep practicing over there. Anyway, we're out at the garden, and we're just doing a little experiment, basically. We got the cover crop that we mowed down. We've got a bulb tool that we made to make holes to plant right into it. And so we've got a row of plants done already. We're planting on each side so we can run a drip line right down the middle if necessary. They're working on the other holes. As we're making the holes, they're going back behind with the forks and kind of loosening up the soil. And then we're going to put the plants, we're going to start filling the holes. Probably got enough plants to do 3 rows. And these are the plants, the cold weather. The initial seed leaves are starting to slough off a little bit. They're definitely ready to come out of the tray. They've been in there about 5 weeks. 5-6 weeks. A few of them, you know, not. I probably won't plant that. It doesn't have enough root stock to make it. But we're going through it. I'm just kind of tearing away, kind of grabbing the edge of this because it's kind of roots all over the place, and just kind of working my fingers to get the row loose. And then once it's loose, we're breaking off individual plants from this whole chain of plants here and giving them to the kids to plant. What do you think, bud? Now we have certain areas that we are tilling, like the potatoes are going to be down there, and we're going to hill up a couple rows and then take the Haas tool, which is up there, tomorrow and come down through and make our furrows. We're going to plant potatoes.
Daddy, this is too heavy.
It is. The other thing too is we've got about half of our tomatoes didn't make it, maybe more than half. This was the weekend I had slotted to plant anyway, or start the seeds, going about 6-7 weeks out from when we would plant in the yard. So I got the kids up there sowing the seeds directly in the cups and see if we can get them to sprout. Worst case scenario, I'll just go to the garden center again. No. The mistake I made this year was we didn't, I should have put them in the house after I transplanted them and given them some time to adjust and then brought them out to the greenhouse. Just too much transplant shock and I lost most of them, so, you know, shame on me. We've also tilled up this area because we didn't put any kind of cover crop on it, and we're going to do something different here. Get this going. We got some rhubarb there in the back. But we got things to do, so it'll be a while, probably later this summer, bud. So anyway, we're gonna keep going and see what we can do tonight.
Gardening show.
So we are in the thick of planting here.
Whoa, Daddy, look!
Grandpa's cleaning off the tiller there.
Hey, look at this.
And the kids have the Swiss chard that survived the winter.
Because of this huge root.
They got a huge old root mass on there.
Found another one.
Another one. Basically what we did was we took the Haas tool, we put one of the cultivator tips on there and just ripped a row right down the bed here. And so we got a little assembly line planting spinach and lettuce in there right now. So I got these little lettuce plugs, we're digging them out of the trays. They look pretty good. They've been in the greenhouse for a week or two, so they're used to the sunlight. So we'll see if we can get these planted up this evening.